Grilled vegetables is kind of my new thing. I love, this summer I just grilled a bunch of vegetables. In fact, I just grilled veggies Saturday night, or Sunday. Put a picture of them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me on that. You can see what I'm cooking at home. But anyway, it just, takes them to a whole nother level and makes them a little more fun and exciting. So when I do grill veggies, it's really important to have some sort of a marinade. And I like to do a balsamic marinade. So it starts out with some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, and I love making my own. You could certainly do the bottled kind as well, but this is going to give these veggies some nice flavor. This is just my version of a homemade vinaigrette. A little bit of Dijon mustard, and this is going to thicken it and give it some nice flavor. A little bit of salt and pepper. If you've got some fresh herbs, great. These are just some dry Italian, like an Italian blend, seasoning blend. A little bit of pepper. And I just whisk that up. Or shake it up in a jar if I'm doing it in a salad dressing. So there you go. Now we have a really nice, and I actually am going to do a little bit more because I love to brush the vegetables with this as well. So we're going to take some of this and marinate the veggies, and we're going to take some of it and brush it on while they're grilling, kind of like a little basting sauce. So do a little more olive oil and vinegar. It's as simple as that. Those store-bought marinades are kind of pricey, and you probably already have the stuff to make them right in your house already. So, why bother with it? So we're going to take some of the dressing, and Ann has already cut up some nice onion for me. We're using some red onion. I've been grilling those sweet Vidalia onions, which are fantastic. And you notice I've got them in pretty big chunks, and I even do them if I'm doing an outside grill even bigger because I, don't want them falling through the grates of the grill. So I'm going to do these pretty big. Got some red pepper. I love grilling red, yellow, and even green pepper. So that's good to go. We're going to throw that into our bag. I've got some zucchini and some summer squash, which again, a lot of that's still floating around. Really important to wash that well though, because it's pretty sandy. So I like to wash it and dry it. And again, I'm going to do this in pretty big chunks. So I think I'll do this like on the bias. I did my summer squash on the grill the other night, and I did it too small, and it cooks so quickly compared to some of the other veggies that I learned my lesson there. And so bigger is better when you're dealing with zucchini and some of these other vegetables. So a little bit thicker because you don't want them to be mushy. That's no good. So this is perfect. And now the star of the show, like I said, is going to be portobello mushroom. The thing with portobello mushrooms, and the baby bellas are fantastic too, they're very meaty. So if you're trying to, eat a little less beef, this is a great sub. So what you want to do is basically take the clean kitchen towel or paper towels and wet them a little bit. You don't want to run these under water. That's not really the greatest way to clean them. And then they've got these gills, and they're not so tasty and not so fun to eat. So that's why I do love the baby bellows, because those you don't have to deal with that. So just use a spoon and kind of scrape that off, those gills out of there a little bit. These actually are wonderful. And while I'm doing this, I quickly want to mention, and I'm going to then pour the marinade in here, our next big night out, because it's coming quickly. So we want you to join us. Ann says she's in. So it's going to be a great time. We're headed to a restaurant in Kaukauna called Little Chicago, 5-course meal paired with wines, all for just $50 per person, and that includes everything. We're going to start with a soup course, your choice of their seafood chowder or their homemade tomato basil soup. Then there's a salad with strawberries and a strawberry poppy seed vinaigrette. Then it's both 2 courses, a steak and a seafood course. Steak Diane with the mushroom sauce and roasted potatoes, and then a potato crusted haddock dish served with a cream sauce on top and asparagus. And then for dessert, it's a chocolate, a warm chocolate, is it like a souffle, I believe? Some sort of a warm, yummy, oh, yeah, it's going to be delicious. And it's served with a white Dove ice cream cocktail. So yummy, yummy, yummy. This is booking up very quickly, so call today to reserve your spot. The number on the screen, 920-462-4393. So call today, and we hope to see you there coming up on November 11th. Okay, so I'm taking some of this vinaigrette, not all, but some. And my favorite way to marinate is in a Ziploc bag. It's a great way to get the marinade throughout all the veggies, keeps all the mess in here. And veggies, you don't need to marinate all day. If you want it to let them sit in this marinade for a couple hours, that's fine, but it can be a real quick one. So this can happen just after work in a real hurry. Okay, so veggies are nicely coated. You want to spray your grill with cooking spray. They now have grilling spray, which is even nicer. And you can do this on a grill pan. You can do this in a skillet. You can also roast these in the oven at a real high temperature. So if you're going to roast them in the oven, Amy says to do it at about 425, 450, maybe even 500. You really want them to get nice and brown. That's what we're looking for. We don't want them to hang out low and slow. We want these to get caramelized and have some great color. So get those mushrooms on. And this is pretty quick. And this, by the way, is going to be a warm sandwich. So it's a great sub for like a burger or a chicken sandwich, something a little bit different. And it's a great way to use up those veggies, that half a veggie here, half a veggie there that you probably have in that bottom drawer of your refrigerator. This happens to be one of my new kind of go-to sandwiches. I do love a good burger, but these days sometimes after I eat a burger, I'm not feeling so good. So when everybody else is having their burger or their chicken sandwich, this is something that maybe I'll make for Bob and I. And it's still a sandwich, so it's still, you know, messy, and you feel like you're, you know, not being deprived. And it's got a lot of really yummy flavor. Grilled vegetables are so good on so many things. Pasta, I'll serve them a lot of times if I'm just grilling chicken, which is what I did Sunday night. I'll just serve them as a side dish. Grill a bunch of different vegetables and put them on a platter because they look so pretty. Okay, so those vegetables are hanging out, doing their thing. Now this sandwich calls for a really nice kind of crusty roll. So we've got some French bread, a ciabatta roll would be great too. And I just want to drizzle these with a little bit of oil to toast them up. Maybe a little bit of garlic salt, just a dab will do ya. And get these in the oven. Just like a really good burger. It's no fun putting a really good burger on a cold, not too exciting bun. Same goes for the sandwich. So toasting up your buns, or your bread in this case, really takes your sandwich to a whole another level. I've talked about before, one of the trends the last couple years, and some of the hottest celebrity chefs like Graham Elliott out of Chicago, they're actually taking their high-end restaurants, and those are going so well that they're opening other smaller restaurants, more casual restaurants, that their specialty are killer sandwiches. And so the sandwiches, really good sandwiches, are totally on trend right now. And, you know, some of the keys to a good sandwich: good bread, good toppings, and a great spread. So see how quick these veggies are? You're getting some great color. Smells really yummy. My producer, Abby, has been all about Brussels sprouts these days. And yes, you can grill Brussels sprouts or roast them. Brussels sprouts still very much on trend. And she brings pictures of her Brussels sprouts into me when she makes them. She's like, I didn't even know I liked Brussels sprouts. So we'll season these up with a little bit more salt and pepper. And we'll take some of that reserve marinade. And I'm looking for my brush. Any idea? Love these silicone brushes. They are fantastic because you just throw them in the dishwasher and they really do get clean. Unlike the old pastry brushes, which you never really knew if the bristles not so good, but these rock. I love it when I'm grilling, and especially when the weather's been nice the last couple days. Everybody's been out, you know, walking the dog, riding bikes, couples taking a walk, and when I'm grilling out there, they all kind of smell it, and I feel like, ooh, they're wondering what I'm cooking, and they're maybe a little jealous about what I'm cooking. So that's always a fun feeling. Okay, so these are starting to look really great. They're just softening up a little bit, but the thing with just like regular veggies, and these are done. The mushrooms cooked super quick. Is that you don't want them mushy. Mushy. My husband thought when Bob and I were first dating, I was going to make him a special dinner. And I said, well, you know, what about for the vegetable? I'll do zucchini. And he's like, I don't do zucchini. No zucchini. Don't like zucchini. And I thought, well, he's never had my zucchini. And I made zucchini as one of the side dishes, and to this day it's one of his favorites. And because, you know, he grew up with zucchini that was overcooked and kind of mushy, and nobody likes that. So, okay, veggies look great. Let's check on our rolls. Toasting up nicely. And what I like to do is, another key, I think, in my opinion, to a really good sandwich is cheese. Now for this, I thought we'd have some fun and do a goat cheese. If you don't like goat cheese, feta cheese would be great. You could melt some Monterey Jack or mozzarella or provolone. But when this hits the warm bread, it's going to get a little bit soft and melty. You know what would be nice too if you don't do goat cheese at all is and this is going to be the spread. You could certainly do mayo or just keep it light and do some vinaigrette. I'm looking for my arugula, Anne. Is it in the... But anyway, like a garlic herb cream cheese would be fantastic too. All right, so for the lettuce, spring mix lettuce would be nice, but we're actually going to just use some arugula. Now layer up our sandwich, slice up our mushroom a little bit. Take some of our portobello mushroom, some of our pepper. It's such great color. Zucchini, maybe some of that summer squash, little onion. And it's going to be messy. That's all right. A little arugula, and then we'll put the French bread over the top. And yeah, this is a knife and fork, maybe a couple of napkins, but it is fantastic. I really try grilling some veggies. I think you'll really, once you get into the habit and the swing of it, you'll be doing it more and more. We'll put the recipe for this grilled veggie sandwich on the website. You can also pick it up at any area Festival Foods.